Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Not Everybody Needs a Podcast with your host, McKenzie Rencher. You guys, the last week's episode came out a few days ago, and when I heard the audio, I was so sad. It was my fault because our soundboard, I don't think, could handle 4 people on the mic, so it was a little bit of a learning lesson, but I was so sad, and that's why this week's episode I'm going to call the redemption of Savannah Alexander because her mic was so muffled and it wasn't her fault. And I hope you guys still enjoyed the episode, but we're having her on again. So welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yes. I also was watching the episode and I was like, why her mic instead of mine? Like, I was like, I didn't.
Wait, your mic was good?
I think. Yeah. I mean, no, none of ours was really great. It was all pretty muffled, but like yours, I guess the frequency just picked up. I also am like so loud, so that might be.
I was going to say, I feel like I am more soft-spoken. Like Josh would always have to be like, speak up. I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, so I think that's why that happened. But I was so sad because I was like, you had so many good things to say. And I hope you guys still got to watch it and you still liked it. But another side note, I was watching back and I was like, not only are we muffled and that was frustrating, that will never happen again, by the way. We got a new soundboard because I was like, this just cannot happen. We cannot be giving the people muffled voices. But I was looking back and I said, McKenzie, it looks like you haven't brushed or washed your hair in a week and a half.
Stop.
No, I'm serious.
Sometimes I think it's the lights that do it.
You think?
Well, I'm like, I was feeling the same. I had just washed my hair and I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Are we okay? And I'm not even like really hard on myself like that.
Like it's whatever.
Yeah, like if it looks like I like have a pimple or like my pores are enlarged, I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
But like I will actually do my hair before the episode. First of all, I wash my hair. Second of all, I don't know what it is, but as soon as the camera start rolling, my hair just looks like I've never brushed it a day in my life.
Do you feel like you get like sweaty when you record?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Well, also after an episode, I'm like, not only am I sweating, but I'm rethinking everything I've ever said.
Yeah, same.
And I'm wondering if like I already forgot 7 things I wanted to talk about. Like it's just my brain starts going and going.
Yeah.
And then I get excited and I start to just chit chat.
No, same. Yeah, I feel like after I'm like, wait, did I say anything that I wanted to say?
I know.
Or what did we talk about?
So I'm just hoping that when these cameras start rolling, my hair starts to like really act like how it needs to act.
Your hair looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks really
good. Watch this back. And I'm like, I watched my hair last night. Also, I got a DM a few weeks ago.
This is crazy.
No, nuts. I told Savannah before we started rolling that this girl DM'd me and said, you're too pretty for your hair to be that greasy. I said, babe, I washed it last night. I actually can't remember. She's like, did you block them? Okay, this is a side note. One thing I'm going to do is block somebody.
No,
Are you
too.
a blocker?
100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, you say one thing that is just not nice. I'm like, it always blows my mind when they follow. Like if someone says something
always follow back.
Not nice and they're not following, I'm like, whatever, I guess. Like,
or they're a bot or something.
Yeah, I'm like, that's random. I'm like, I don't really care. But if you're following, and then it's the best when you go back to previous DMs and they've previously said something nice and you're like, the switch up is crazy. So I'm like, blocked.
Yeah.
There's just no reason why you should be able to see anything I post if you don't have something good to say.
That's my thing. I'm like, which I feel like this has been talked about, whatever, with creators in general. But I'm also just like, you actually don't ever have to see my stuff. You can block me. I actually encourage that.
Yeah, like same. I'm like, if you dislike what I'm posting or have a problem with anything, then why would you follow? I wouldn't follow someone that like they rub me the wrong way. You know what I mean? It's your choice.
Have you ever DM'd someone back and which I feel like more times than not, if you say something mean to me, I'm DMing you back. Really? And I'm gonna say like, I'm gonna be like, hey, this is like mean.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is literally mean.
And they always come back and they're like,
I'm sorry.
Oh girl, yeah, I'm sorry. It wasn't like personal or whatever. I'm like, wait. So you sent this thinking I wouldn't see it?
Maybe? I don't know.
Do you think? Because I feel like they sent it thinking like, not even thinking that, you won't see it.
But then it's just like, what's the point? That just makes you feel better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's random.
People, you know?
Amen.
Yeah.
But anyway, looking back, my hair was kind of greasy, so you're right, girl. But if I blocked you, I mean, I guess I'll never know, but let me know if I blocked you in the comments. But the fact that we were together when this TikTok ban happened.
No, I was happy.
No,
because
same.
it made it like less sad. I think I maybe would have actually cried if I wasn't with you guys.
First of all, it's not that I really thought that TikTok was gonna be gone forever. I thought that maybe it'd come back, but like a different version or something.
Yeah.
But we went on live because everyone was like, everyone's live because what do you do?
We're saying bye.
Yeah. So we're on live and it felt so dystopian. We just learned that word. We like use it every day now. It felt weird. It felt like we were in a movie. Like,
no, literally.
People started dropping like flies. Like our views went from like 800, 500, 300. Like people
We're
kept
like,
getting
what's
kicked
happening?
out. And we're like, why did it just, and everyone's like, guys, they're getting messages on their screen. And like everyone, I really felt dramatic.
No, it really did. But the thing is like, it honestly was dramatic. And then what cracks me up the most, we're all like absolutely crashing out, freaking out. And then the next morning, everyone's like, I'm so glad to have you guys back.
No, I was, no, literally.
Like, wait.
Like I missed you guys for that 12
like,
hours.
We were all sleeping. And then we're like, oh, it's been so long.
I woke up like it's back. I'm like, oh, thank God. Yeah. I could have gone a whole day without scrolling. Did you think that it was gonna last?
I thought, like, from just like kind of trying to be educated about the whole situation, I thought that it was maybe going to come back like on Monday within like, 36 hours.
The Trump administration or whatever.
But I didn't think it was literally coming back almost immediately.
It was giving very much PR stunt.
No, 100%. And I know that's what everyone's saying. And I think I agree with that because I'm like, what was the point? Literally, what was that?
You made us tweak for what? Also, I'm like, have you seen all the conspiracies of people thinking that it's basically a new app because you can't re-download it?
Yes, and that apparently Meta bought half of it.
Yes, and that's why there's all this like different, I don't know what conspiracy theories I believe about it necessarily.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's
There's
crazy.
definitely something off. I can't put my finger on it.
And is CapCut back now or no?
CapCut's back.
Okay.
CapCut is
because I know that wasn't back. And then I also know that Instagram actually just announced that did you hear about this? They're launching an editing app.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't come out till like March or something.
Yes.
But everyone's like, that's crazy. Like they're
Perfect
definitely
timing.
in cahoots.
Yeah. I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes, folks. I'll tell you that much. And I'm interested to see what happens in the future, because apparently you said there's only like, it's only a 70-day extension.
Yeah, I guess that's what I heard. I mean, don't quote me because I feel like sometimes I'm not as educated as I should be. But yeah, I saw something that it's a 70-day extension, and then from there they want it to be like half American owned. But then everyone's saying that it's already happened, or they think it's already happened. I think
it's already happened based on like,
how else would it happen so quickly? Like, oh, it's just back. Like, what do you mean? Why?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of facts. I feel like we don't know, and the whole situation's a little fishy.
Yeah, it's
I'm
crazy.
just like 12 hours, only 12 hours.
That's why honestly I'm still kind of like on eggshells because I'm like, is it too good to be true? I'm like, is it actually back? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna keep posting as normal.
Yeah, just carry on.
Yeah, and we'll figure out what happens with the future of TikTok. Anyway, this last weekend we had Beckham's birthday. It was so fun. The theme was, it's not my first rodeo. That way I always have to think about it, because why is it such a mouthful?
No, it is a little bit confusing.
It's not my first rodeo, it's my second, which I thought was so cute.
No, it was literally perfect.
Wait, what was Rye's theme for her second?
She just had like a Bluey birthday. I forget her. I'm like,
Bluey is Tui.
No, literally, I think it was. Yeah, wait.
That's
yeah, I
cute.
think. No, I actually think that's what it was. I don't remember, but I actually said I wasn't going to throw her birthday, and then we accidentally like threw her birthday. So
no, I love that. Whenever y'all throw parties, do y'all invite friends and family, or y'all only really have family?
Yeah, we don't really have friends.
Well, I did want to get into that, but I like, I wanted to do a whole episode about how hard adult friendships are.
Yeah.
Because it really is.
No, truly.
And we've like talked about this a ton, but if you don't have friends that you like met in high school or college, or did you go to college?
No.
You just did dance.
Yeah. I actually did do community college online for like a couple of years. Just
Where?
because I was like at my community college, like back home, like through my community
Me not
college.
knowing what community college is, because I didn't go to college. I don't know anything about college.
It's just like, well, actually, okay, so like universities, like I can't even say this because I don't know. Community college is just like, I don't know. I'm scared.
Okay. You're like, I actually don't want to say because
but it's just like regular college.
It's just regular college, but like local.
Yeah, like I was doing it all online, but like my sister actually went there too, and like there was no dorms or anything.
Oh, okay.
So
it's literally just online.
I think, she went in person in class.
Oh.
But I don't think it's.
But you don't sleep there.
No, you don't sleep there.
So basically the difference is sometimes you sleep there and that's your real college, and your community college, you don't sleep there.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
People probably watching this are like, you guys are crazy.
No, I know, but
it's fine.
Anyway, but yeah, I feel like we should get into adult friendships, because not only you've moved, which makes it hard.
Yeah.
But even if you haven't moved, I'm thinking if I did not have friends that I grew up with, I went to, middle high school with, or I met in like my college years through church or whatever, I don't know how I would find friends.
No, it's crazy. Like Josh and I have talked about it, and we're like, trying to find friends in adulthood is truly like dating. It's really I haven't really dated I haven't dated at all like in my adult life because I've been with Josh, but yeah. I imagine that it's very similar because you have to put the effort in. You really have to just like take a leap of faith and be like, I'll take a chance on this person.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just might not really, like hit that friendship. It might just not hit, but you have to try.
Mm-hmm.
But it is so hard to meet people. I feel like I literally joke about going on like Bumble for friends.
Oh my God. That's like not a bad idea.
No, that's what I'm saying.
There's some people that have I've seen TikTok stories of people meeting their best friends through like friendship apps.
Yeah.
Which is so smart.
No, I know. That's a great thing.
But also it's scary. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
about
actually
that.
scared.
No, same. I joke about it, but I think the best place, well, at least what Josh and I have found is like trying to get plugged into a church because I feel like that's just like an automatic way to like get in a community group and like find community that way. But definitely moving makes it so hard because I feel like this has happened to us time and time again. We get kind of like we're about to get close and find community. Like we're like right there. And then we're like, oh, God's like, actually you're moving. I'm like, oh, amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you just found a church. We talked about this last episode. And Darian and I said the exact same thing 2 episodes ago where we were like, honestly, if you love Jesus, I feel like finding friends in the church is the best way to do that. Or even like at the park or whatever.
Like I met a friend at Rise gymnastics class.
Yeah, like stuff like that where it's perfect. Like, because even you and I feel like the reason why we became good friends so quickly is because we don't have to explain anything to each other.
Yeah.
Because we just get it. And I'm not saying that you only have to be friends with people that are moms if you're a mom or whatever. But I just feel like it makes it easier when there's just a part of your life, especially as a mom, where we're not like we joke and we're like, oh, sorry, I have to like do this or whatever.
Yeah.
But in reality, we're not sitting having to be like,
Sorry,
hey,
she's crying.
Yeah, sorry, I actually can't go to dinner at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do this or that. Like it's just a known thing where it's like, if we're gonna hang out, it's gonna be at 3:30 at the park after nap time, and that's just what it's gonna be. And like I can't text all the time. Like even me and you, I feel like
I'll literally like we'll go like weeks without texting each other.
Yes.
It was fine. We're like, oh sorry. Hi.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like, oh wait, I never answered this.
Yeah.
Oops. And it's not this thing where there's like pressure or anything, but I just think with friendships, I'm gonna say exactly what I said 2 weeks ago, where it was like, I just feel like if you do not put yourself out there in uncomfortable situations, it really sucks to be uncomfortable. But I feel like this is so deep and this is so something Darian would say. He's going to be proud of this if he listens to this. Wait, does Josh listen to everything or watch everything that you do if you don't do it together?
No.
Okay, same.
Like, well, okay. Actually, honestly, I don't know because I don't have like a podcast, obviously, because I feel like that's more of his time. But sometimes I'll be like, did you not watch my story? Because I'll like say something about my story and then he'll ask me. I'm like, you didn't see my story.
Yeah.
Like I literally posted on my story.
I guess it's different for you guys. A lot of the content y'all do is together because you have a TikTok account that's together. But me and Darian do so much separately.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he'll ask me like, you should do this or you should do that. I'm like, I literally already did that. I'm like, do you not support me?
No,
I'm just confused. And especially YouTube. I don't think he's watched my YouTube in years since I first started. Yeah.
Oh. Is it because he feels like he's there? Obviously,
yeah, I
mean, he knows.
I'm like, fine, you know my whole
You're
life.
like, I get it. You don't have to watch me. Like,
and also, have I ever watched one of his podcast episodes that I'm not in? Of course not. But I support you from afar, brother. I'll repost it. But no, I what was I even saying? Oh.
I'm like, me definitly not being able to help you out.
You're like, oh wait, I have no idea. But I was just gonna say wait, no, actually, what was I gonna say? Okay, side note, I'm probably going to do this 7 times during this episode. I don't think you guys understand how sleep deprived we are.
No, it's bad.
And whose fault is it? Ours.
It's definitely ours, but honestly for me, it works in my favor for when we go back to the other 100%. Time zone. But then you were like, I'm just going to be here still messed up, staying up until 2 a.m.
Yes, she is 3 hours behind us. So whenever she goes home, honey, she's on her normal schedule. What happens when they leave? I'm still on this time zone. Like, I've been going to sleep every night at 2 a.m. and waking up, honestly, not that early, but you 9.
Wake up during the night.
That's another thing. All 3 of her kids sleep through the night.
Yeah.
And Kason is still 4 months, so he is not. He wakes up either once or twice throughout the night. And I do it since Darian gets up with the kids in the morning. And so I'm just like, not okay.
No, that's like amazing that you're doing great. Because if I was going to sleep at 2 and then waking up at like 4 and like 6 or whatever, I would be like unwell.
Yeah, that's why great. This morning we were supposed to work out.
We've said that every day.
Every day we've said that we're going to work out. And I'm like, wait, should we tomorrow? And we're like, oh yeah, we should. And we're like, oh, we have that thing.
Yeah,
we
can't
do it. Darn it. But I this morning said, no, I'm not
And
even
you
gonna
sleep.
pretend like I can do it. I can't. I'm so tired. So I slept until like 10 today.
That's good.
I needed it for my soul.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
And then Savannah definitely had plans at 10:15. I texted her. I was like, when are you leaving? Because I want to go to a coffee shop. Like what did I think? How was that gonna happen?
You're like, I'm just being delusional.
It wasn't. But to conclude the friendship conversation, I have already kind of spoken to this, but I never even said the quote that Darian would be proud of.
Oh yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yes, that's
Okay,
what it was.
I'm ready.
I'm like, oh, I'm back.
Mm.
But the quote he'd be proud of is, beautiful things come from being uncomfortable.
That's amazing.
Snaps,
That is-
snaps. Because it's so true.
is
I feel
true.
like anytime I've done something where I'm like, I really don't want to do it, or like whether it's like apologizing to a friend or whatever it is, like things that make me uncomfortable, I end up being so happy with the result. And I would encourage you guys to get uncomfortable, because your friend that you met at gymnastics, like,
I literally asked her for her number.
yeah, like,
I said, I like you.
yeah, and that's
I was like, is it
not
weird
comfortable.
Is it weird if I ask for your number?
You're like, I don't want it to seem like I'm obsessed with you, but
I know,
also
I'm
like,
sorry, but I could just like tell that we would be friends.
yeah,
And she was like, yeah, that's not weird at all. And then we literally like went to the park together a few days later.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be praying that you have more friends there, because
Thank you so much. I feel like
it's
I'm so
important.
drama. Like Josh and I have talked about this multiple times and we're like, we don't have friends. We really do have community. It's just like
Mhm.
not a large community where we live, which I think is really important. Like we've just been praying for community in our area,
Mhm.
close community. So we'll get
It's
there.
just different. Like, I feel like if obviously having friends in different cities, you keep up with each other, and like when you see them, but it is different to have people close.
Yeah,
and
you need to have people like surrounding
you definitely do. But back to Beckham's birthday party, it was so much fun. All of our friends came. I asked everyone not to get her gifts. Everyone got her a gift. Of course.
Can't resist.
Well, Savannah had a really good idea, because one of my close friends, I was like, guys, if you guys get Beckham a gift, you're so canceled. And she was like, you just need to ask people to get her Tony cards or Tony characters. And
Mhm.
is it Yodo?
Yeah.
And Yodo cards. I always call it Yuko. Who's
Actually, I
Yuko?
said yeah. I'm not quite positive because
I
I
think
don't
it's
have one,
Yoda.
but that sounds right.
Yeah, which we haven't played with one since she's been here. But anyway, since y'all have been here. And they take up way less space. I was like, this is actually a genius idea. But of course, everyone had to get her the most
The largest
random
things.
giant toys possible. I'm like, guess what? I just did a whole clean out. And now what?
It's hard having a birthday near Christmas too.
Yes.
Because it's like you just got a bunch of new stuff and probably got rid of stuff. And now you're like, again, all
No,
this stuff.
actually. So you have 3 kids.
Yes.
I'm going to talk to the audience like they don't know who you are, because
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what if they don't, you
Yeah,
know?
that's perfect.
But you have 3 kids. We talked about this last week. It's 3, 18 months, and 6 months.
Yes.
And in motherhood, I feel like you hear the term like getting lost in motherhood a lot. Do you believe in that, or do you feel like that's something that you're supposed to do? And do you feel like you struggle with that if you do believe in that?
Yeah, I think I don't believe in that because I feel like when I had Rye, I definitely was like, my goal, because of everything I walked through postpartum, I had like severe postpartum depression and anxiety. And I was like, I will never feel the same again. And I just really want to feel like me. I just remember being like, I don't feel like myself. Like I want to feel like myself. That was all I was like just so hyper fixated on. And then once I kind of got through that, I was like, I'll never be quote unquote me again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different version of me. And I'll never forget, I think it was about like when Rye was 6 months, is when everything kind of shifted. And I was like, wait, okay, I feel like whatever me is again, but just a better version of myself, a different version of myself. Because once you become a mom, you're never going to be what you were before you were a mom.
Yeah.
But I do believe in the fact of like getting lost in motherhood. And I think there's an importance of making sure that you still are like taking time for you.
Yes.
But I don't think that you'll ever be like old you. And I feel like that's what I was longing for. And I was like, why can't I feel like myself? Like I'm freaking out.
yeah.
But it's just a new version of you.
Mhm.
And yeah, now obviously with 3 kids, like doing it the postpartum journey 3 times, I feel like I've just like really learned how to adapt. I mean, not to say there aren't hard days where I'm like, this is crazy. Like the only thing I have time for is to be a mom. But then I just always try to focus and realize that this is such a short season. And like, I know it's so cliche. Everyone's like, just like be in the moment because you're going to look back one day and you're going to miss this.
Mhm.
But I really do try, like when I'm feeling overstimulated or overwhelmed, I'm like, no, like this is literally what I prayed for.
Mhm.
And I am going to miss this. And I'm going to be sad one day when I don't have toys flying around my whole living room and I'm like tripping on them. So
like what my house looks like, an interior designer was here,
Yeah,
that's gonna be sad.
Yeah, I'm gonna be actually sad. So I need to just
Same.
like suck it up. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a difference between getting lost in motherhood and still being yourself. Because I talked about this in a TikTok a few weeks ago where I was supposed to go hang out with my friends and I was just like, I don't even know if I want to go because I'm so in mom life that going
it feels far off.
Yes,
like
it feels far off. And I'm like, sometimes I just want to like lay and just do nothing and whatever. But like we said, friendship is so important. But yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like you kind of are supposed to get lost in motherhood. How are we not supposed to get lost in something that we do 24/7?
No, exactly. And when people are like, oh, you've changed or you're not the same, it's like, yes, of course, I've most definitely changed.
Yeah.
Like I'm a different version of myself. Yeah. And how do you not get lost in the thing that literally is like one of your top priorities in life?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, I always say I am fine with like, I don't say it like this, but I just realized I say it in a different way. But like, I'm fine with getting lost in motherhood, but I'm not fine with that only being a mom.
Exactly. I
don't want my
that
whole life to just be like, when people describe me, I don't want to be like, she's a mom and a wife.
Right.
Like, I want to be so many other things and I want to do so many other things that I really hope that when people describe me, it's like, she's an amazing mother, she's an amazing wife. And she likes to, create and she has her own things and she goes and she likes to like work out and go to coffee shops and whatever.
Right.
Like, I don't like to just be like, she's just a mom.
Yeah. And I feel like that goes along with like when people say like once you have kids, your life is over type thing. But it's just not the case. It's just different. But like you can still be a mom and you can still be a friend just like you were before,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do you have any boundaries with, I guess you could say like, I was going to say friends and family, but like family as far as like caring for your kids or like just certain, I guess you could say like roles of, I don't know. Cause I guess the only people that really like watch them would be I was going to say moms, but I guess it's his dad, his stepmom, and then your mom. Like what are your boundaries as far as like family goes with watching them?
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because when we moved near family, we were like, we actually have no idea what to expect because we've never really had to create clear boundaries because we've never lived, when we just had Ryan Starley, our first two, we didn't live near family. So we were like not used to being able to be like, hey, what are you guys doing? Or like them saying, hey, can you guys come over for dinner? Like what, we never had experienced that. So we kind of just went in with no expectations. And then we're like, we're going to kind of just like create the boundaries as we go and see what feels comfortable and what feels good. And to be honest, I didn't know. I was like, is this going to be crazy? Because we're so used to being just us, even before having kids. We're not used to living near our family, just so used to doing everything by ourselves and like traveling to see our family. I mean, it's so crazy to think that we never had seen our family since we got married unless we were like staying in their house or they were staying in ours.
That's crazy.
So we were actually so
what are boundaries in that?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like since we had experience living away from them, that was actually like it's such a relief and so incredible that we have our own house in the same proximity, you know what I mean? Because then they can come over and leave.
Totally.
Whenever we had Ryan Starley, my mom stayed with us, which was like the biggest blessing and such help. But it was so nice to have this postpartum experience. And we had family there when we wanted them there. But then we could also just be like, okay, bye. Like, but as far as boundaries now, I really feel like our family, praise the Lord, is so respectful of us. And I don't know. I've heard crazy stuff about like people will just like show up unannounced. Like, I don't know, just all of that. And I'm so grateful that everyone respects us and they all know just like how we parent. We're with our family a lot. And so I feel like they just know the drill and they know like their role. And I don't think we've never had any issues with like anyone
like
overstepping.
Boundary talks or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. We never had to. We kind of were just, we went in, we're like, well, obviously, of course, like if we need to put someone in their place and like let them know, hey, like we don't do that. Or like, it's not okay, whatever, we 100% would. We've always said that we are the ones who will vouch for our kids. Like no one else is going to do it. Like obviously we're the ones. So that's something that's super important to us. So if we ever have to speak up, like we will definitely do it. But I think as far as family, we haven't really had to be like, hey, like that's not okay or anything like that. So
praise God. Yeah. I've always said that too. I'm like, if for whatever reason, my mom or his mom or whoever like is watching her, like, what if they just tried to discipline her or something? Like, what would I do? Because I'm like, it's not that I'm not okay with like people saying things to her or being like, oh, honey, like we don't do that or whatever. But if someone tried to like for real discipline her, I'd have to be like, oh, sorry, unfortunately, you're never going to watch her again. Like I would.
No, yeah. And especially if you're right there, I think that's really disrespectful. Like you can't discipline, like the parent's right there.
Right. Like if I'm there, you definitely can't.
Unfortunately, like it's their job in that moment to discipline.
Yeah. Luckily, Beckham's like such a little sweetie.
No,
I'm like,
she's so sweet.
What did anyone say to her?
She doesn't need to be disciplined
protect her.
No, she's
like, she actually never is going to be.
She'll never do anything
ever.
wrong.
Can't wait.
Yes.
But you and Josh have been together how long now?
We met in 2017. So what is that?
Wait, oh yeah, duh. The same year Darian and I started dating.
Oh, so how many? Wait, really?
That's crazy. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
2017.
Okay, so how many years is that? I can't do math. It's like eight years.
We just celebrated our 7-year anniversary, but we're like halfway to 8.
Okay.
So yeah, almost 8 years.
That's crazy.
The fact that it's 2025, I'm so thrown off. It's a month in and I'm still like,
no, I know.
I also never really have to write the date.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I do, it's like pretty rare. Maybe like, actually, I don't even know.
Like for a waiver for the trampoline park?
I'm like, I can't even actually think of one instance where I would have to do that, but it does happen. And then I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, I don't even know what year it is, let alone the day.
No,
like,
actually. But saying 2025, I'm like, wait a sec. If we were, like, we're almost at 10 years. That's really freaky.
10 years is crazy.
A decade is crazy together.
Wait, how long have you guys been married?
For 3 years.
Okay,
almost.
yes, I remember that.
April will be 3 years.
Okay.
We're going to Mexico. I'm so excited.
No, that's literally gonna be amazing.
But I feel like the reason why I asked how long y'all been together is how many of those years have you guys been online together, I guess? Because I mean, then did you guys have like an announcement of like we're dating? And did you guys do social media apart from each other or just when you started dating?
No,
I don't know this.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. It's actually crazy looking back. We actually started our YouTube channel like within the first year of us dating.
Wow.
So it's actually scary if you think about it because I would definitely never recommend that because I just think it's like focus on your relationship. Like, I don't know, like do not create.
Let's build a solid foundation before we bring people in.
Young and silly.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are we actually doing here? But anyways, it all worked out, so it's fine. But yeah, we started our YouTube channel within like a year of us dating and we had no expectations. I didn't even know that like YouTube, I didn't know anything about YouTube actually. Like I didn't know it could be like a job. Like I didn't watch like vloggers or anything, but Josh did because he had like previously done Vine, so he was more educated. But I was like,
he big on Vine or was he just like it was for fun?
I think he had like 50,000 followers.
That back then,
yeah, I think he
was
did.
a mill.
Yeah, he
like if you had 50,000 followers,
I know, that's
you're
crazy.
famous. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Actually,
yeah. So he like knew about it and stuff, but I was like, oh, I don't really know anything. So we were really just doing it for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But we never announced that we were dating on Instagram. I don't think.
Darian and I's was such a dramatic announcement.
Wait, I can't. Oh, I guess we like posted a photo with each other. Actually, crazy thing, I posted a photo with Josh. This is actually nuts. On my Instagram because this is back in the day when like the Instagram feed really mattered.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the vibe of it.
Of course.
And so like I was like, he matches, like I was having like a
no.
I had like a blue like kind of like vibe going on right then on my Instagram. Like there's a really good beach picture, like whatever. We had taken like a picture together on this blue wall and I just like posted it. And he was like, hello.
Wait, this means we're together.
He was like so
this.
scared.
It was a huge deal.
And I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, what? It matches my Instagram aesthetic.
Back then, if you
don't do that.
Oh no, that's crazy.
It was crazy.
But Darian was playing Clemson when we were playing Clemson, playing football at Clemson when we started dating. And back then, you couldn't post during the season.
Really?
No,
they can't date, or they're not supposed to.
No, they can date. You can't post anything. Like you had to go like silent during the season. Which is not a thing now. That was hello. Now people are making millions of dollars a year. Like you can't just not post. Hello.
Wait, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that was Dabo's rule, and it got lifted. I think his senior year or like his junior year before he left. But that was a crazy time because we were dating for a full like 4 months, and
no one knew.
No, yeah, I mean everyone knew, but
like
online, which who cared? But because neither one of us really did social media then. Well. He posted on Instagram. He took Instagram way more seriously than I did. But I asked how long y'all were on social media because I feel like, especially in like the beginning stages and now that we're married and we have kids, it's almost like people think that we're perfect. And that was a lot of assumptions that I got whenever I did my solo episode. When I talked about assumptions about me, I really got a ton of questions about like, what are you and Darian like behind the scenes? And are you guys perfect? Do you guys fight? Because I think it can create a lot of anxiety in people when they look at these people that are online and like we're all just like laughing and having fun and everything is like
Peaches
quote
and
unquote,
cream.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
And clearly it's not perfect behind the scenes. What is the balance for you with being real and also not posting your personal, like, because there is a side of, I mean, we can get into parasocial relationships as well, which is crazy, but like there's a side where it's like, yes, I want to be real, but also like there is privacy and I'm not going to post our fights on the internet. So like, what's the balance for you?
I feel like when we first started out, it was like a big learning lesson because I feel like we shared a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We shared too much in the beginning, I will say. And even honestly, like
y'all would share your fights?
Would we? I mean, okay, I'll say we shared stuff that we were like currently walking through.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like, oh, Josh and I got in a fight about blah, 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 you know? But for example, like we shared when we moved to Texas, it was really hard on me. And we did like a video just talking about it. And I was like literally crying in the video. And looking back now, I would never. I'm only sharing. I mean, it's totally fine to like cry, whatever, be vulnerable, emotional. I think that's fine. But for me personally, it only works if I have been through it, like to the other side of it.
Yeah, walked through it and it's done.
Yeah, but if I'm like still struggling and sad, I'm like, I can't help anyone with this information. At least I don't feel like that because I'm just like
I'm basically trauma dumping on you.
Yeah,
and then
I'm like, what will this do?
Solution.
Yeah, what will this do for you? And I don't ever want anyone to be like, oh, poor you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, that's not what I want to like portray. I want to be like a light for other people, but that's not to say that like obviously we don't have like real emotional like moments, but I think now we definitely have a really good balance and flow, but I feel like it took a while. We definitely don't ever share. When we had our podcast, we would talk about like fights or stuff, just like whatever, just banter. And
it's way easier to share, like, I guess for people to see that you're not perfect through stuff like that. Whereas
form,
like, what am I doing on YouTube or TikTok or whatever for people to be like, I'm going to do a trend of like, when he didn't put his dish away and I'm like fake punching him. Like,
yeah, like,
okay.
No, it doesn't really work on Instagram. And like, you won't catch me going on my Instagram story being like, yeah, like last night Josh and I got in a fight about this. Like, I just
for what?
Would never. And I don't know if that's like I don't think anyone does that though, you know?
No.
And I don't think that means like, that's what we always try to stress, you know, like just because what you see may be like look perfect, it's just the highlights. Like it really is. Like we're not posting. I mean, I do share some stuff like I'm having a hard day or whatever like that, but I'm not sharing like the nitty gritty details of our life because we just do have to protect ourselves at the end of the day. Yeah.
I feel like I will get questions about that and then I'm like, I just don't even know an alternative. Because how do you guys want me to come on the internet when him and I have a disagreement? That's just
crazy.
Not appropriate.
No one would do that.
No. And I don't, you know? Obviously, I guess people saying it's like you have a responsibility as a content creator and whatever. And I do think that we have a responsibility for a lot of different things. But I also I'm fine with talking about, I mean, we've talked about we went on breaks when we were dating and again, things that we had already been through and walked through and have overcome. Whereas I'm just not trauma dumping to the internet. No. It's not, you guys, I think people say they want that, but then if you actually did that,
what would you do with that information?
Exactly. Besides people being like, are you okay?
Exactly.
You just, you can't be on there doing that. And I also think the reason why a lot of people say that is the whole like parasocial relationship. Have you like, do you know what that is?
Not really.
I actually don't even know what parasocial means as far as Google goes.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people talk about it in the form of people want more and more and more and more from you to where they actually feel like they're friends with you on the internet, like from people that, let's look up like an actual like chat.
The
chat. What is parasocial?
Wait, okay, I do know what you're talking about. I've heard about that.
I want to look up the actual definition so that I'm not like speaking to. I know that that's like the paraphrase of it, but let's see. A parasocial relationship is a one-sided connection with a celebrity, fictional character, or other public figure. People in parasocial relationships may feel like they know the person they're attached to and may even feel like they're friends with them, which I think that is the most scary thing that can happen with the internet. And I see it, for example, something that's like, I guess you could say trending right now is there's this creator, her name's Jade Amber, I think. Mm-hmm. And she used to dress in all pink. That's how she got big. Like she was like, she had a pink car and only wore pink and only drank pink stuff. And like, it was like
Oh, wow.
this thing, whatever. Now she just has a really cute kid and she's just a mom and she just creates content, whatever. So she got married and didn't tell anybody. And people are like mad at her.
That's
and like
crazy.
are like, we want the details. Why are you hiding him? Like all this weird stuff. And I'm like,
because they feel entitled.
yes, they feel like they know this person. And it's almost like they're acting like one of their friends kept something from them.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
you have to be very, very careful with that because it's almost giving parasocial when people want to know the insides of every bit of your life, where if you do ever want to keep something private, people are almost offended by it.
Right.
And that can
like,
get weird.
How do you not let that happen?
Yeah. And I feel like that's just something, I guess, as if you create content, you just kind of have to navigate. But there's just a lot that I've seen, especially with, I mean, actual celebrities. People do that a lot. But I actually almost feel like it's with content creators more because they're more attainable, I
was
guess.
just going to say that. I think it's worse.
Yeah, because they don't seem as like untouchable.
Right. Like, of course, you know, people like Justin Bieber, like obviously they are like obsessed or whatever, but we share way more. Like, obviously we're not anywhere near that level, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Influencers or content creators are sharing more of their life and like the details and like the ins and outs. They're seeing like what we do when we get up in the morning. Like,
yes.
So they do kind of feel like they know us.
Yeah. And it's like, I hope people feel like, we're all just like friends. Like we're all, I don't want to be like, there's no like hierarchy, but I just think there's a really dangerous line of where people want to know even your arguments.
Right.
Like, I guess people, and if you sent that in, that was your assumption or whatever, I don't by any means think that you want to know our arguments. But when people want to know more and more and more from you, you just have to like take a step back and be like, how much do I actually want to share?
Yeah.
Because it can just get kind of crazy where people are like, oh, they actually feel like they know you.
Right. Especially when you have kids too. That's when it becomes, I'm like, wait.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah, it can be tough. But I feel like that is one of the best ways that you can kind of navigate on, you know, how much to share is things that you have already walked through. I feel like that's a good way of doing that. And I guess if you're one of those people that does want to know people's like arguments, I guess like, I don't know if it's like a tea thing where people are like, we want to know the tea or what, but I'm curious what y'all's thoughts are as far as like what you would want to see from creators where you obviously don't want us to come off like we're perfect, but then there's a side of it for us where it's like, it's not appropriate to share. Like, I'm just curious.
I know, it's really interesting. Well, you know, people love the drama.
No,
they want the drama.
Yeah.
Even like, I mean, this is something different, but like people want to see us. They want to see the drama. They want the drama.
Yeah.
Like they want to see us fail.
Yeah. And I guess I'm like, I don't think you and I ever try to come off like we are perfect, but there's just a balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to get into McKenzie's mindsets. If you guys don't know what that is, it's where I give my mindset on your issues, any questions you have, whatever. You guys have really been sending me some good ones, so keep DMing me them. And of course, I'm not going to share your name or any of your like personal business. Don't worry. But I just like reading these sometimes. I'm like, girl, I need to talk to you. And sometimes I DM them back. And I'm like, listen, I'm going to answer this. And this is crazy.
That's good.
Sorry, I think I have like a cold or something.
Yeah, I think
it's going
the very
it's
end
going
of the
around.
like, no, it really is going around.
Do y'all hear that?
No, last night were you like talking and you were like, wait, hello?
The more I talked, the more stuff up I got. I was like, hold on.
What's happening?
I hate a sickness. I've been like downing vitamin C because I was like, you're not going to get me.
You're not.
Heck no. Okay. The first McKenzie's mindset. Hi, beautiful. Hey, girl. I almost said her name. Stop.
Good job.
Imagine I'm like, I don't share your business. And I'm like, hi, blank, blank. Anyway. Hi, girl. My boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years. We met in college, but our home states are 12 hours apart. He has always wanted to move home, and so have I. I can't see myself moving across the country for him, and he hasn't expressed wanting to move for me. Is it time to let go? This is tough. That's why I chose this one. It literally made me want to scream because I'm like, if I was in this situation, that is so tough.
Wait, so neither of them want to move, basically.
Yeah, both of them want to move to their home states, but neither one of them are like willing to budge for the other person, basically.
Whoa.
I know.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, same. I'm like, sometimes it is hard to give advice on these kind of situations because I have so many follow-up questions where I'm like,
I need the details.
Is this really somebody that you could see yourself marrying? Is this who you want to be the father of your children? Do you see yourself? I don't know. I feel like when you do love somebody, I've gone through this before. Love is selfless. And it's very hard to say that you love somebody if you're not willing to budge for them. And I guess I would just sit down and see what makes the most sense if you guys actually see yourself together long term for years and years and years. I don't think it's worth letting go somebody that you really think is your husband. And I would ask yourself if you're not willing to budge if that really is somebody that you want to marry.
Yeah.
Because I just think if Darian really wanted to move home and I really wanted to move home, but like I knew he was my husband, I would be like, Lord, help me be selfless because I want to be with this person. And that means I'm going to have to give up some of my wants.
Yeah, someone's going to have to give if it's the one.
Yeah.
Truly.
So I would ask yourself if you really think he's the one. Because if you're not willing to budge, I feel like, I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no to that because I don't want people to break up over my podcast. But
but that's really hard because it's both of them wanting to move to their hometowns. It would be one thing if it was just like one person wanting to move and the other person is like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But the fact that they both are firm on wanting to go somewhere, I'm like, that's really hard. I don't know. You guys are just going to have to take it to the Lord.
No, for real.
That's hard.
Yeah. And really sit down and ask yourself the hard questions because I don't know about all that. I could say if I was in that situation with Darian, I would say, I know for sure that I want this to be my husband, so we're going to work something out.
Yeah. Whatever it is.
Yeah. Whatever it is. Hopefully he would sacrifice.
Yeah. He'll be like, okay,
I'm like, that means you have to come where I want to go. I'm just kidding. Hi, I had a question. Whatever. I keep reading the first things. It's like, clearly this is Mackenzie's mindset. Move on. I recently found out I was pregnant. I'm super excited, but also struggling a little bit because it was unexpected. We've been married 2 years, but are still young. None of our friends have kids. I'm just nervous on being the first friend in the group with a baby and that it'll be hard to have anyone want to hang out. And I also feel like I'm missing out on other things like traveling or things we had planned on doing. How do you get through that initial shock and feeling? I know it'll be beautiful and worth it. I'm just nervous of the unknown.
Wait, that's a perfect thing for you.
I know, kind of.
Like literally.
I'm like, kind of. It's exactly what I went through. Yeah. I had a honeymoon baby and so it was very unexpected. And I let myself feel every emotion when I needed to feel it. And I didn't tell myself that I needed to feel guilty or shame for not being excited 100% of the time. When I first found out, you can see it on my face that I was excited because I have dreamed of this for so long. But that night I sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. I actually think I posted a video of me sobbing.
No way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever cried on the internet. I think I've cried once or twice.
Wow, I've cried so many times.
Really?
Yes.
Including
my acting days.
You know? Oh, of course.
Yeah, that's what I'm
your pranks, you're like, oh, honey, I've cried so many times.
I was crying.
God, I might have to get the prank videos out tonight.
Please.
Like I need it. I really do. But anyway, I let myself cry too. And especially with not knowing, I found out that I was pregnant the day that Darren got cut from the NFL, whatever.
That's crazy.
So I'm like, okay, so not only does my husband not know like what's next, I don't know what's next. I'm pregnant. Hello. So I think just let yourself feel all the emotions. And I don't know. I would say the same with like gender disappointment or people that are disappointed that they aren't getting pregnant or whatever. It's like you're allowed to feel whatever emotions you need to feel. And some days it's going to feel good and some days it's going to feel bad. And like, that's all okay. You don't need to feel shame for either one. And it's tough. It's tough with an unexpected pregnancy whenever you do want to be a mom, and especially knowing the end is going to be beautiful, but you don't feel the beauty of it now. I will say if it encourages you, there's not one thing that Darren and I would have changed. And I couldn't say that then. Because then I would have said, I would have waited a little bit to have a baby. Right. And now that we have her, there's just nothing I would change.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Do you want me to answer?
Yeah, sure.
I'm like,
no, you
killed it.
Hello, you had an unexpected pregnancy too. It was just
I literally feel the exact same as you.
Yes.
Though. It was our third that was like super unexpected. And honestly, even without like unexpected, our first, we were like trying but not trying. And we were still like absolutely rocked. Like I was like, whoa. Like,
how long were you married?
Especially your first. We were married for a year and a half.
Okay.
Maybe. But and like we knew we like wanted kids, but like no matter what, I think regardless of the circumstances, it's a shock.
It's crazy.
Like it's literally just a shock period. But I definitely get the like unexpected. Like you weren't like it wasn't your timing. You're like, oh, we were not planning for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like our third, I got pregnant when I was 4 months postpartum. So I'm like, obviously I didn't really, maybe not obvious. Some people may do that, but that wasn't our plan. So it was definitely like we straight up felt sad. But then I also, on the flip side of it, it's such a weird feeling because obviously we understand what a blessing and a miracle it is to have children. And then you start to feel the guilt because you're like, wait, like some people have been praying to have children for years and they can't. But I think that can't invalidate what you're feeling. And you have to understand that, you know, just because someone else is walking through something doesn't mean that your situation like isn't still hard for you.
Yeah, people can get really crazy with stuff like that where it's like, why are we comparing pain?
Yeah,
like pain
crazy.
is pain, and of course there's going to be levels, but I feel like having an unexpected baby is
definitely shocking.
Having anything unexpected happen, I feel like is you have to work through. So I would just say be easy on yourself, honestly, because it's going to come with different waves. Even when, I'm getting more and more stuffed up. It's time to cut this episode. But y'all pray for me. I think I'm coming down with something. But I'm just going to down some elderberry and some zinc and some vitamin C, and
you'll be good.
But I have a few guests in mind that I want for future episodes. But I also want to hear of some people that you guys want to see as well. Savannah, thank you for coming on.
Yes,
I'm so sad. We've literally lived together for a week, and tomorrow you're gone.
I know. I was just saying, like, I'm so sad. I have to go back to reality. Like,
yeah, this is basically a bit of vacation for me too.
No, this is so fun.
I've enjoyed every minute. I'm so sad.
Well, we'll start planning our next trip.
Yeah, we said that we're gonna start doing. We've been doing every 6 months. We're gonna have to move it up to like every 4.
Yeah, like we could do.
That's realistic.
We could do 3 times a year.
Yeah, that's
like beginning, middle, end.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
we can. This
do that. Is beginning. We'll see y'all in the middle, and we'll have you guys on again. Of course.
Okay.
Anytime that we're together, we're like, we need to pull out some cameras because we be getting silly. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can follow Savannah on TikTok at Josh and Sav. You can follow her Instagram, Savannah. Is it Savannah Jean Alexander?
Yeah.
Savannah Jean Alexander. And yeah, just follow what she has going on. She's always posting new things. They're so fun. And if you guys want to subscribe to my YouTube, I'm almost at 38,000, which is so exciting. So if you guys watch on there, subscribe. If you guys listen on Spotify and Apple, you guys can follow along on there as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next Monday with a new episode of Not Everybody Needs a Podcast.